Alright, so we are going to talk a little bit about present value. And present value has a lot to do with a geometric series. Let's see. Present value is the amount that a future payment is worth right now. So, for example, I could offer to pay you $1,000 next year, but it'd be better to have it now, because if you had it now, you could invest it, put it in the bank, invest in the stock market, something like that. So the present value is how much money you would need right now to invest, to have the same amount as if you invested that for the year. So one way of looking at it is, if I were to give you $1,000 in a year, that would be worth some present value, some present amount, times some interest rate. So let's assume that we have a 5% interest rate. So 1.05 to the first, because we're going to get interest for 1 year. So in other words, the present value of $1,000 1 year from now is 1,000 divided by 1.05. If I go to my calculator and do 1,000 divided by 1.05, I get $952.38. $952.38. So this means that if I offered to give you $1,000 in a year, I could also offer to give you $952.38 right now, and those would be comparable offers. They would be actually equivalent offers to either have $1,000 a year from now or $952.38 right now. So there's value to having money right now. You could also ask the question, well, what if I were to offer to give you $1,000 10 years from now? Okay, what's the present value of having $1,000 10 years from now? Alright, well, that's a similar problem. The question we ask is, $1,000 is equal to what present value if I were to be able to invest that money for 5% for 10 years? So if I go back and instead of dividing by 1.05, divide by 1.05 to the 10th, I get $613.91. So in other words, giving you $1,000 in 10 years from now is the same as offering to give you $613.91 right now. So $1,000 in 10 years is not worth a lot, right? Not worth as much as it would be if I gave it to you right now. If I gave it to you right now, I could just give you $613.91. Obviously, if I offered to give you $1,000 right now, or $1,000 in 10 years, you should take the $1,000 right now. It's worth more. So we can do this with geometric series if you're given payments over and over and over. So if we take a look at this problem where Patrick Ewing receives $3 million for 10 years, what is the present value of that contract? Well, the present value of that contract, you have to look at each one of those 10 years. So the present value is equal to $3 million that he's offered this year, plus $3 million divided by 1.07 for next year, plus $3 million divided by 1.072 for the money he's offered in 2 years. So notice that 3 divided by 1.07 is less than 3. So the money he's going to get paid next year is worth less than $3 million currently. And we would go all the way out. So this is now, this is the first year, second year, third year, and we'd go all the way out. In the 10th year, he'd get 3.107 to the 9th, and that would represent all 10 years. Okay? Well, so the present value of that contract is actually a geometric series, and if you look at it, the geometric series is A times R to the n minus 1, as n goes from 1 to 10 years here, and we know what A is, it's the first term, and we know what R is in this case. It's 1 over 1.07. That's what we're multiplying by each time. And you can check, when n equals 1, it's 1 over 1.07 to the 0. 3 times anything to the 0 is 3 times 1, which is 3. We can also solve this using our sum of a geometric series. So the sum of a geometric series is the first term times 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. And if we were to take this and do it on our calculator, we have 3 times the quantity 1 minus r to the n. So we have 1 over 1.07 to the 10th. Okay. All of that divided by 1 minus 1 over 1.07, 1 minus r. Have to be really careful with parentheses here. Okay. And we end up with 22.54. So, if we go back, the present value is equal to $22.54 million. So, 3 times 10, you're thinking, oh, he's getting $30 million, but it's spread out over 10 years, so he could either be given $22.54 million now, or $3 million every year for the next 10 years, and those would be equivalent deals. Okay, so that's present value, and that's how it relates to geometric series. Now you can also do this on your graphing calculator. It's actually a little more, I think, convoluted on your calculator, but you don't have to worry about any calculations. So you might recall from way back when, there's an apps button on your calculator, and we can go into finance mode, and we can do the time value money solver. So from the perspective of the team, they're going to pay Patrick Ewing 10 times. N is the number of times, the number of payments. The interest rate is going to be 7%, and let's see, the payment, they're going to pay $3 million. I'm going to put -3 because the team is going to pay $3 million. Eventually, they want to owe Patrick Ewing $0, so the future value is going to be 0. And the other thing I have to be careful about right here is I have to change my payment to the beginning. So instead of getting paid at the end of the year, we're going to pay Patrick at the beginning of the year. And now if I head on up to the present value, I can do alpha enter, and if I hit alpha enter, it will solve for that, and it tells me the present value of this investment is $22.54 million, which is exactly what we got by doing it using geometric series. And there you go.